Welcome to Six in the City, the podcast where 620-somethings talk about shit and some of them live in cities.
I'm Jen.
I'm Lexi.
I'm Nancy.
I'm Elena.
I'm Jane.
And I'm Robin.
So today's episode is about pets, and I guess we can start off with everyone kind of introducing the pets in their lives and like what's their name, when did you get them, and so on and so forth.
I can start. This is Buddy. Hello, say hi, Buddy.
Hi, Buddy.
He is 2 years old, a little over 2. Buddy is a California boy. He's an LA skater boy. And then we brought him over here, and he's been to San Francisco. He's been to Colorado, obviously, and he's been to New York. He's a traveling buddy. Very well
What
traveled.
is Buddy's top 3 favorite things in life?
His top 3 favorite things would be sunbathing, treats, and chasing rabbits. Buddy's real name, well, I guess not real name. His name is Buddy, but his first name was actually Pretzel. But then my mom couldn't pronounce pretzel. So it was changed to Buddy.
What kind of dog is Buddy for people who are not watching the video?
Sorry, everyone. Buddy is, I think technically he's a red, long-haired dachshund. His hair is very gold. His ears are perfect balayage. Yeah. He's brown mostly, with some streaks of black.
Buddy, would you like to say anything?
Woof woof.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Hi, Buddy.
Hi, Buddy.
Buddy, you don't want to stay and listen to your other friends get introduced?
So this is Monkey and this is Tiger, and they're both Shih Tzus. They were born on January 15th, 2018. I got them as like a 21st birthday present. Best birthday present ever. But yeah, that's how I have Tiger and Monkey. Tiger and Monkey are actually my brothers and I's favorite animals. So tigers are my favorite animals and monkeys are my brothers. So Monkey is technically my brother's dog, but it's not. But like when we got it, we weren't expecting to get 2 dogs, but they were the last 2 left from the breeder. And I just like couldn't, it was like the sketchiest thing ever. We met her in a gas station parking lot. And she like lifted the trunk of her like little like car, and in this laundry basket were these 2 puppies, and like Monkey was right behind Tiger. I saw Tiger first, and Tiger was like technically, if I only went home with 1 dog, it would have been her. But Monkey was just clinging onto her, like grabbing onto her back and hugging and trying to get to the front. And I was just looking at them. I was like, oh no, like what 2 would I like take it, even though we all know that it would have been a Tiger that I would have taken home first. But then my dad saw, and then he was like, how can you separate these 2? Which is actually, it's actually not recommended for you to keep siblings, like litter mates together. So actually like do your research if you do that, because they become a strongly bonded pair. Which they actually are as well. So, you know, they get anxious if they get separated from each other. So you have to be able to like deal with that, which is why like in the long run, I do want to like introduce another dog into the household to try to maybe hopefully loosen the pair. But it's actually strongly advised that you don't have litter mate dogs. But there were just 2 left, and Monkey was just like looking up with her puppy eyes, and we were like, how can we just like leave these 2 alone? So we actually ended up with 2. So we didn't know what to name them. And my brother and I kept arguing. My mom was like, okay, well, until you finalize your names, you can't call them Puppy 1 and Puppy 2. You like, why don't you just call them Tiger and Monkey for now, because they're your favorite animals. And my brother and I agreed, and then the name just stuck. So that's how we have Tiger and Monkey, and here they are now. They're over 3 years old.
Tiger looks like a stuffed animal.
She looks like a panda.
It's so
Literally.
cute.
Is what Nick likes to say. We call her.
Especially with the tufted
Yeah, the
hair
little
on top,
tuft.
looks like a teddy
Right.
bear. Like,
Yes,
scruff
for
it.
sure.
Do you guys remember like Codename Kid Next Door? Number 4. Doesn't she look like number 4 like this? So hard.
Yes.
The shaggy hair.
Oh, you're so right.
So cute.
You're so
Oh, the
right.
tongue.
Kind of looks like Appa from Avatar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
I feel
The
that.
color scheme too.
Oh, that's so cute.
We call her thickums because she like her booty, like from like, especially as she's walking, it's just so thick. And like she likes it when her booty gets slapped. Like she'll like, if you hit it, and she does these sploots, like the traditional dog sploots, so it just makes her booty looks even better, and you just can't help but like smack it. But then she gets jealous if you like smack monkeys and you're like, good girl, monkey. She'll come. That's how Nick and I get her to go upstairs. Like if she like Tiger's a little bitch, so she pretends like she doesn't want attention, but like she wants attention. So what she'll do is she decides she wants attention in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. So she'll run downstairs and like does her little like squeak toy squeaking and like whatever, and then she barks wanting our attention. It's freaking 2 a.m. So like sometimes all I need to do is I use that time to go to the bathroom, and then she'll like know like, oh, someone's awake, and she'll run upstairs. But if she does it more like 10 p.m. and we're still awake, all we have to do is like hit monkey's like booty, and then we'll say, good girl, monkey. And then she'll like run upstairs really fast. She's like, who's a good girl? I'm a good girl.
Not you exposing her praise kink
Oh.
on this podcast.
She has such a praise kick. I wonder where she got it.
Lexi, you go.
Okay, this is Captain in his natural habitat. He is a Portuguese water dog. He was born on March 10th, 2018. So similar in age to Tiger and Monkey. But we got him late.
Lexi, Buddy's birthday is March 9th.
I feel like we talked about this in March.
I think so too.
I think we did. But I love that. I love that for
We
them.
love our Pisces boys. Our Pisces good boys.
But yes, he's a Portuguese water dog. He was born in Toms River, New Jersey. He now lives between Pennsylvania and the Jersey Shore because he's a water dog. One time on the phone, my grandmother told her sister that my parents had to buy a beach house because they got a Portuguese water dog. That is a half truth because this dog loves the beach. He loves being on a boat. He loves the wind in his hair. His favorite thing is water. If you take him on a walk anywhere there's any form of water, you have to like make sure that you're taking him somewhere where the water is safe to get in, not like a pond or like an algae bloom, because he will get in the water without even asking. Like it's his one bad behavior. He also loves squirrels. He likes to watch squirrels and deer and chase them. And yeah, he's a sweet little angel. Also, for non-video listeners, he is black with white paws and a white tuxedo. He is the exact same coloring as Bo Obama, which is a very Portuguese water dog coloring. It's the most iconic. Also, rip Bo Obama, pour one out for the homie. But yeah, so it's a very classic Portuguese water dog look, but he's actually wavy instead of curly. So originally they were going to keep him and have him be a show dog, but because he's wavy, they're less desirable as show dogs. They're more like a pet. And so they decided to sell him. And his original name was Legs with 2 G's because he has really long legs. But my family has a theme where all of our pets have military names, and we aren't a military family. That just happened. So he had to be named Captain, but we do call him Captain Legs sometimes. And he also loves daycare. His other favorite thing in the whole world is daycare. He loves other dogs at daycare, but he's really shy at the dog park. So I think it's something about like he's already introduced to them and they're his friends and he loves them so much. That's my little guy. And then I also have, I believe to be the weirdest pet in this call, in this Zoom. This is Sergeant, which is short for Sergeant Pepper, my black cap conure. He was born on January 8th, 2013. So he would be old if he was a dog, but he's a parrot and his species lives for 25 years. He's a black-capped conure. They are a small parrot. They're one of the smallest parrots that is considered a full parrot instead of a parakeet. That just basically means he has 2 toes in the front, 2 toes in the back, and a full beak. He's very, very cute. He's green with what I call his sexy scarf. It's white and has black spots on it, and it looks really fancy. And then he has red under his wings. He likes to terrorize the dog. So some people assume it's for his safety that he's not allowed out when the dog is home. No, reverse it. The question everyone asks about parrots, can he talk? Yes, he can. I tried to teach him specific phrases, but parrots have this weird thing where like they don't actually repeat the way that like the stereotype makes it seem. They actually learn phrases based on situations and then repeat the phrases when they want those situations to happen. So his favorite words are like come here, which means get me out of this cage, god damn it, woman. He also likes what you doing, which means like why are you not playing with me? And he likes to say Sargy Bean because he's a selfish narcissistic little bitch. And he likes to make the sound that iPhones make because if someone turns off the audio on the typing, he knows that something's missing. So then he makes the noise as they're typing to fill in the noise. So those are his weird things he does.
That is so cool. I didn't know that.
That's so smart.
So weird. He's so smart. And he also can unlock his cage. So he had to padlock it. He loves to go inside sleeves, like hide in sleeves. So if you ever see like pictures on my socials of him popping out of a sleeve, that is him. Yes, I love him, but he is nuts and also evil. And my mom thinks he might be the devil. But I love his personality. And it's funny because I think a lot of people meet him and they're like, birds must be evil. But I've met lots of birds as a bird lover. I've been around lots of birds. No, that's just his personality. He's spoiled. He's full of it. He's vindictive. That's my mom's favorite word to describe him. Like, you know, if you feed him, he'll spill the bowl of food onto your head and he like targets it. Like you can tell he's honing in, he's aiming it, he's gonna hit you in the head with the bowl. Yeet, he hits you in the head with the bowl. He makes lots of noises, and I think the birds outside have learned his noises and vice versa because he makes noises that aren't native parrot noises but also aren't human words. And I swear I have heard birds outside say Sargy Bean. Oh, and the story about how we got him. Sorry, I'm going off about this bird, but the story about how we got him. So we went to get hibachi and we always used to go to the Petco that was next to the hibachi restaurant. And we would get toys for our guinea pigs, which are no longer with us, but we would get toys for them. And like my brother loved to go pick out toys. And then there was this bird there and he was on discount because he was evil and vindictive. And my dad was like, I'm obsessed with him. And he was like rolling around on the ground of his cage, which he has never done since we bought him. And my dad was like, I love him. So then we went home and the next day we were like hanging out. And my dad said, if you can like throw this ball into this bucket, I'll buy you that bird. And I was like, okay. I missed horribly. Then he said to my brother, okay, if you can do it, I'll buy her the bird. And so then my brother did it and missed. But then the next day, we both cried for a long time about how we weren't going to get a bird. The next day, my dad called us from his lunch break and he was like, I have purchased a bird. I need you to drive to this location and come put this cage together and take this bird. And so then we went home with this bird in a cardboard box. And that is the story of Sargy, his origin story. And he's named Sgt. Pepper after the Beatles album because he loves Beatles music. And yeah, and we call him Sargy Bean. But yes, that's my pets. Thank you for coming to my pet talk.
I don't have as fun of a story as Lexi did, but I'm going to.
Oh,
This is Ade. I chose a very derpy photo because I feel like that really just represents him as a being on this earth. But this is Ade. It's actually A for my brother's name, Alex, R for my name, Robin, and E for Elena, my younger sister's name. And then my mom named him, wanted to put a Korean spin, so pronounced Are as Ade, which in Korean actually means like below, beneath, which was not intended, but here we are. He was born in August of 2009. So this year he's turning 12 years old. He's actually a senior citizen, very, very old, and it's starting to show, but people still think he's a puppy when they see him, I think because of his size. He's a whopping 21 pounds. And a super mutt. Like we have no idea what he is. We adopted him in Korea. the year we moved. So I was in 7th grade at the time, so very young, and I didn't know how to take care of a dog. So I as in my family and my parents, like all of our faults in his personality flaws today because we didn't train him properly. So he's a very moody, mean, grumpy old man. But I like to say that he's actually a soft boy at heart, because every morning when I come downstairs when I'm back home, he'll like nuzzle his butt up towards me so he can get cuddles. And then really I'm the only one in the family that he lets like really like pet him, give him good belly rubs, butt rubs, everything. But yeah, he's a super mutt. We got him in Korea from the mountainside. So he's a country bumpkin and an immigrant in this country. We think he's part Jack Russell, and probably has some part Chindoke, which is like the native dog breed in Korea. I'm going to show this other derpy photo of him where he has like a little sploot and you see his little claws. I'm so sorry. His nails are so long because we can't clean them ourselves. But he's such a little derpy boy. And in certain angles, he looks like Baby Yoda, because of his ears. And I love him so much. I will defend him to the death. But yeah, that's Ade.
If you had to describe Ade in one word, what would it be?
I'd say imposter. Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like he puts out this very, like, he's the type where you walk in and if it's a stranger, he'll like bark and go crazy for the first 5 minutes. And we thought like, oh, he's protecting us. He's like a guard dog, but no, he's just terrified out of his wits. And he's like, someone, bark, 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 like someone, bark, bark. He puts out this external mask, but really deep down, he just wants to be loved like everyone in this world. Elena, what about your pets?
Pet, yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about them together just because
Yes.
they're inseparable, even though one of them is deceased now. But my family, they're not really mine. They're definitely my parents, just because I haven't taken care of them since like high school. But we got 2 puppies, not from the same litter because they're not the same breed, when I was a sophomore in high school. We got them in 2012. That's also when they were born. We were originally only going to get 1 dog because I really wanted a puppy because I had grown up with a dog my entire life. When I was born, my parents got a puppy, Alaskan Malamute, and we grew up together. Like we were like babies and then we were like, teenagers. And then my Alaskan Malamute, his name was Pasha. He passed away, I think, when I was like in 8th grade or early high school, something like that. And then we adopted an older dog. He was like 10 and he was a Bernese Mountain Dog. And we just wanted to give him like a nice end to his life. And then, so I was a sophomore in high school and he passed away. And then I was like, I really want a puppy because even though we had Pasha when I was born, I obviously don't remember him. So my parents were like, okay, like if you promise to take care of it, we can get like 1 puppy. So we were looking around at what kind of dog to get. And my mom really wanted a Bernese Mountain Dog again, because the older dog we had adopted was a Bernese and their temperament was just like so nice. And she like loved it so much. So we were looking at Bernese breeders in like Oregon. And then we found one breeder, but they didn't have like a puppy for us. So we were like, okay, maybe a different breed. So we started looking at Landseers, which is a German version of a Newfoundland. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically like a very, very large dog. But Newfoundlands are brown or black, and Landseers are colored like cows. They're like black and white spots all over them. And Landseers are only allowed to be bred in Germany for some really weird reason, like the dog association, whatever that dog breeding association is, they only allow them to be bred in Germany, except for this one guy who lives on the coast of Oregon, which is just so random for some reason. And he had a bunch of Landseer puppies. So we went to go look at them. And we were like, wow, like these puppies are so cute. And my dad was like, I really want this Landseer. And then like a couple days later, the Bernese mountain dog breeder called us and they were like, okay, we now have a puppy for you. So we were like, well, I guess we're getting two puppies. And then we got two puppies, and that was like low-key a mistake because I don't, if you know anything about either of these breeds, they get to be like almost 200 pounds each. So when they grew up, it was truly a lot. But yeah, they grew up together. Like we adopted them like within weeks of each other. So and then the Bernese mountain dog. Okay, so the Landseer's name is Dessa, and the Bernese mountain dog's name was Panzer. Unfortunately, Panzer passed away, I think last year, maybe a couple months ago, pretty recently. And Dessa's been chilling alone ever since then. And I think, Nancy, you were right. If they had been like litter mates, it would have been really devastating for her. But also because just her personality is so chill and they weren't litter mates, she's very, very independent. And I don't think it affected her like as much as it could have. If I had to pick one word to describe her, like her meme lord name, it would definitely be stoner, because she straight up like does not care about anything. Like she's so chill. She's like never like bit anyone. Like even if she barks, it's more like a like what's up, like that kind of thing. Like she's literally so chill, which is also really great because she weighs like 160 pounds, and if she was high energy, I don't think we could handle that. This is
Look at the tongue.
Oh my God, the
Dessa.
tongue.
This is my stoner girl. She was my favorite one, to if I had to be honest. Me and my dad really loved Dessa, and my mom really loved Panzer. He's right here, my Bernese. And I don't know, I think it's just like our personalities matched with them better because I'm very similar to my dad. Anyways, Dessa is doing great and I love her so much. She has zero health issues. She's thriving in California.
I have like a funny story about how I got my pet that is no longer with us.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and it's also my weirdest pet, I guess.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
my bird's weird. But I had 2 guinea pigs, and guinea pigs have to live in groups. They're like a herd animal. I don't know if herd's the right word. And then one had a heart murmur, and guinea pigs are too small to do heart operations on. Like it's such a high risk that they don't do it. So unfortunately, we had to put them down, which was really sad. And so we had 1 guinea pig, and that's a big no-no. But we didn't want to like go out and buy a guinea pig. So we were like 1 guinea pig family for a little while. And then my dad found out that there was a dog dental school that used guinea pigs as their training animals. And then at the end of the year, fed them to snakes at the zoo. And he thought that was real fucked up. So he was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to save one of those guinea pigs. So he went and he picked up one of them and he brought it home. And here's why I think it's my weirdest, most unusual pet. It was albino because it was bred to be a science thing. It never liked to be touched. We named him Mort after the character from Madagascar, because in the show, the lemur show, that's a spin-off of Madagascar, Mort uses himself as bait and goes, I'm yummy with cornbread, to attract a predator. And so we called him Mort or Mortimer. Mort also means death, fittingly. So like iconic. And yeah, we think that they say he was a dental experiment, but we think he was like some other sort of experiment because guinea pigs aren't supposed to live that long. He lived until my 2nd year of college, and we got him when I was in middle school, and he's a guinea pig. And he was already an adult when we got him. So yeah, and he loved his brother. He loved his brother even though they fought over food.
I have a similar story, kind of. Not okay. I don't know about similar,
I'm fascinated.
but it's also my weirdest pets. I had like 2 weird pets. One of them was a snake, and I guess that's not that weird. A lot of people have snakes, but that one I just like got on Craigslist because I like really wanted a snake for some. I don't know. You'd have to ask middle school Elena why she was like feeling snake vibes. But then my other weird animal, and this is definitely weird, it was a crawfish. And So in elementary school, my classroom had like a science project for some reason involving crawfish. And at the end of it, they were like, all right, we're gonna like, I don't know, like eat these crawfish or something like ridiculous. And I was like really attached to this one crawfish. One of its like arms was bigger than the other one, or one of its claws, and I thought that was like so cool. And I was like, you're not gonna kill this crawfish. So I adopted it in like fourth grade, and I convinced my parents to let me adopt this crawfish. And it like was the worst pet ever. Like it hated me so much. It never wanted to be touched. It never wanted to be fed. Like I could never get it out of its cage to clean the cage. And it was chaos, but I was very proud of my crawfish.
Is this the same crawfish as like hot and juicy crawfish?
Yeah, the exact same crawfish.
How do you feel when you go to a crawfish restaurant now?
Honestly, like I see them very differently, but back then, oh my gosh, you're so right though. Back then when I still had my crawfish, and for some reason I don't remember its name. I think it was like a really weird name, but my snake's name was Fred. I remember that. Anyways, I'm just gonna call my crawfish the crawfish. So when I still had the crawfish as a pet, I was invited to like a crawfish boil. I was gonna hang out with some family friends, and I show up to this crawfish boil, and there was like 10 pots of just like live crawfish being boiled to death, and I was so traumatized. I was so traumatized because I had never eaten crawfish before. I obviously like didn't know it was food, or I wouldn't have adopted one. But after that, my parents taught me that crawfish were usually used as food. They taught me that crawfish were usually used as food and not pets. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Do you like hot and juicy?
Yeah, I crawfish are delicious. Like never again will I have one as a pet.
Like I feel like crawfish is just so close to food that you eat.
Yeah.
Like daily, like the line is so blurred. So honestly, props to you.
Do you get crawfish when you go to Hot and Juicy?
Yeah, I love crawfish.
I used to have a fish.
Jen, tell us about it.
I've only had hamsters like growing up. That's the like only type of pet I've had. But there was one time I had a pet goldfish. So like I don't know if you guys also experience this, but like in high school, sometimes your class goes on like a field trip. Like so my friend like to like a fair, like a Japanese fair. I don't know. Well, my friends who were in like Japanese class at my high school went to like a day field trip to a fair, and my friend won like a lot of goldfish. She had like 10, and then she brought it back, and I took them for her, and there was like maybe 5, and they all died except for one. So we named that goldfish Survivor because it just kept on living. Like it just kept on living. And then my sister, she wanted to take Survivor with her to her college dorm, because like Survivor was just like a cute little goldfish we didn't expect to live for long. So Survivor survived the whole car trip to Rhode Island from New Jersey in the summer, and survived getting used to the dorm. But then apparently Survivor jumped out of like the bowl when my sister wasn't home because it was so hot. I guess it just like jumped out and then it died.
They do that?
I guess. I don't know. I just thought it was so sad because Survivor survived so many different things, and then
you went through
the life ended so abruptly.
That's so sad.
When I was in 4th grade, my class, like my elementary class, had a chinchilla as a class pet.
Oh, that's really cute.
And every break, like winter break, Thanksgiving, spring break, there's like a random lottery. So like you had to get a note from your parents saying that they like approve, I guess, you bringing home the chinchilla for the break. And I really wanted to do it. So I asked my mom if I can do it. And she's like, there's no fucking way that you're gonna get it. So she's like, okay. So then I put my name in the lottery, and then I got it for winter break. So my mom was like, ah, fuck. Like, fuck me. But we brought home this chinchilla, and there's like so much like equipment, because there's like the cage, and like I don't know if you guys know, but chinchillas take dust baths. So we had to like bring all of that. We have like a Jack and Jill bathroom, so it's like a small room basically, and we would put him in there and let him just like run around in the little room with like a little dust bath, because he like loved the dust bath. So that's how we would get him out of his cage, like bring him into the bathroom and then like take him back to his cage. And then I don't know why, but one day I think we were playing with the chinchilla. We had like some guests over, and we were all playing with the chinchilla. His name was Dusty, and like we're all in the bathroom, so we were like, yay. And then they're like, let's go shovel snow like in the sidewalk. So we're like, okay, but let's just leave Dusty in the bathroom by himself, you know. So you're like, go shovel snow and come back, and Dusty's gone. Like, he is not in the bathroom when we get back. And I'm like, okay, that's really bad, but it's even worse because like a class pet, right? Now I have to like go back and be like, sorry guys, I lost our fucking chinchilla. And I was like so stressed. Like, that's like my earliest memory of being really stressed, honestly. And so I was like, oh shit. And it was like the first week of winter break too. So then we're like, okay, we're like looking around the bathroom, and then under the cabinet there's a hole. Like, he had like gnawed on the wood, and then he was like in the cabinet, you know, like in the actual thing, and we couldn't find him. So I was like, okay. So we just left the dust bath out like on the ground, and then like eventually he just like came back, like somehow, I guess like through the pipes he like came back. So I was able to return the chinchilla to like our class, but oh my god, that was so stressful.
It sounds like an episode on a TV show. Like a generic.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say there's an episode just like this on Bob's Burgers,
Really?
where one of the children takes home the class chinchilla and then like loses it, and they like look for it.
That's so like the exact same
Yeah,
story.
literally.
Is class chinchillas a thing? Like, I'd never heard of that
Me
before.
neither, yeah.
Thanks for listening and watching our first video podcast. Is Buddy still there? Tiger Monkey still there? Do they also want to say bye? Maybe
Buddy
some
is-
ASMR.
Buddy
like
is taking
sniffing.
a nap now. There's a
Okay,
lot of
Buddy.
working on the podcast.
Bye, Buddy. Bye, Tiger.
Aw.
Bye, monkey.
Bye, bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Oh wait, I have stuffed captain. Stuffed captain. Oh wait.
Aw. Bye. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Six in the City. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Six in the City Pod.
This episode was edited by Nancy with music brought to you by Gandhara Pratama.